What's up, guys? This is Mr. Royal Enfield, and I am going to tell some things about Royal Enfield bike. I was thinking that why can't Royal Enfield bikes with the higher CCs attain top speed of more than 120 kilometers? This is the saddest part of Royal Enfield, but I found one article about it. Not not actually just one article. I researched about this thing and I made one opinion about this thing, that why Royal Enfield can't go beyond 120 kilometers per hour. I mean, the Duke, let's take Duke 200, would easily race a Bullet 500, but the Bullet has more CC, so it should be faster, right? So the thing is, I got one answer about it. So the main thing is CC has pretty much nothing to do with the top speeds. Top speed would generally depend upon the power delivered by the engine, which depends upon the design of the engine and the weight of the bike. So the thing is, the Duke is designed for speed. Of course, we all know that Duke is designed for speed and the Bullet is designed for pride. If we go in a detail, we will find that CC is a volume swept by piston when it moves inside the cylinder in cubic centimeter. Larger the volume swept, larger is the quantity of air fuel mixture taken is during inlet cycle, and therefore higher amount of energy is generated, leading to more power. This is why mostly the CC number and the power PS number seem to be directly related. I am very sure that you didn't got any of this point, right? Okay, let's not panic. I can explain this thing in four terms. Actually, I am going to explain this thing in four terms, which are stroke ratio, compression ratio, gear ratio, and of course, weight. So, without wasting a time, let's take one thing, stroke ratio. So, before going into deep, what is stroke ratio? This is the ratio between the stroke length and the bore diameter. Stroke length is basically the ratio of length of the relevant part of the cylinder. And what is bore diameter? Diameter of the piston. An over squared engine has to cover smaller distance for every stroke, which means it can have a higher number of strokes per minute. This implies a greater number of cycles per minute. What this translates to is an engine that is designed to operate at higher RPMs or higher speeds. KTM Duke falls under this category. Bore to stroke ratio of KTM Duke 200 is 72 by 49. Most racing bikes and cars use this configuration. Possible downside could be the high amount of wear and tear, high temperature, and heat loss. And the second is, an under squared engine has a longer stroke length, which means it can do fewer cycles per minute and therefore lower RPMs. This means it will deliver its peak power at low speed RPM. The Royal Enfield Bullet belongs to this category at a stroke ratio of 70 by 90. Will last long, but if speed is what thrills you, get something else. Now the second comparison I have, my second point is compression ratio. Compression ratio is the ratio of the volume of air fuel mixture before compression and after compression. Higher compression ratios imply higher thermal efficiency, which means higher power output. The Duke has a compression ratio of 11.3 s to 1. The Bullet trails behind the 8.5 s to 1, which is a vast difference. Now heading towards third point. My third point is gear ratio. The ratio between the RPM of the engine Not really. It is actually the RPM of gear primary drive, as far as I know, to the wheel. For the Bullet, the peak ratio is 1 is to 1, whereas for the Duke it is 0.917. The wheel is faster than the engine. This implies further increase in top speed. And my fourth point, the last point of this video, weight, or you can say bulk. In addition to this, the curb weight of the KTM Duke is 136 kilograms. The Bullet is lot bulkier at 187 to 200 kilograms. Since acceleration equal to force upon mass, Duke manages to get the extra inch of speed by the sheer weight reduction. The downside for Duke here is the stability that it sacrificed to a certain extent. All the factors considered, Duke 200 delivers more power than a Royal Enfield Classic 350 Bullet, but lower torque and is faster, of course. See, the thing is, I am not comparing the two bikes to say which one is better. The philosophies of the design are different for both the motorbikes, and individual preference may vary. Pick the riding experience you love. Left to right. See you soon in a next vlog. Till then, bye bye. And do subscribe